Hello and welcome to the HBM Test and Measurement FAQ video series. I'm Krista Tweed, an Applications Engineer with HBM, and in this video I'm going to provide an overview of the User Keys feature of Perception. The User Keys feature was implemented in Perception starting with version 6.72. User keys are available in all versions of the Perception software. They give the user a powerful tool to automate actions they take in Perception. Both single action and multiple step macros can be created. If a user has a predefined set of steps they work through with every dataset, the user key provides a way to automate those steps. Since user keys are saved with the Perception virtual workbench, they are always present when the PNRF file is opened. To open the User Key Navigator, go to the Window menu and select User Keys. You can create a new User Keys window or open an existing one. Select the plus sign in the Navigator to add a new user key, and the Setup dialog shown here opens. A single action key is created by filling in the entries in this dialog. The key text is the name displayed on the key icon. A key image is selected. The key help text appears when the mouse is held over the user key, giving the user more information about what the key does. An action is selected to assign to the key, and the action is configured if necessary. If you want a key to implement multiple actions, select the Open Macro Manager button at the bottom of the dialog. The Macro Manager Setup dialog is shown here. A macro is multiple action steps that are executed with a single command from the user. Macros are what give the user keys so much power to customize Perception. There are no limits to the number of actions in a macro. Sophisticated analysis can be created when actions are paired with formula results. A single click on a user key implements the full macro or macros. Let's look at a few examples. This first example is a multiple sweep acquisition that has 100 triggers. The engineer who has to review the data set up a variety of user keys to simplify his work. First, let's review what's shown in the active sheet. The display is a review sweep display, so it only shows the results of one sweep at a time. At the bottom of the sheet, a user table with analysis results gives an overview of key parameters for the sweep. On the right of the display, there are meters displaying additional calculation results. The engineer has formulas created in the formula database that use data from the active sheet and determine key results. There is also a report configured in the report sheet. If we go back to the active sheet, we can use the help text to see what each user key does. The first user key allows the user to go to a specific trigger. Type the trigger number of interest and Perception displays that sweep. The sweep number is shown in the meter on the upper right. The next two user keys go to the next or previous trigger. As I select these keys, you can see the data in the display and the calculation results update to reflect the data in that sweep. The arc user key zooms in on the peak of the arc signal. The unzoom user key closes the zoom window. The report user keys load a report layout, a detailed report, and an overall report. By going to the report sheet and selecting these options, I can see that the report layout changes as the user key is selected. There are also two user keys to print the report and post the report to Word. The user keys in the middle few rows take the active cursor to a point of interest in the data. The formulas calculate the points of interest, and the user key moves the active or red cursor to that location. You can see it move in the display as the user keys are selected. All of these actions could have been done by the engineer without user keys. By creating the user keys, he has everything in one convenient location. It is easy for him to review each trigger, zoom in on points of interest, and create reports. This second example shows user keys that make finding points of interest on data, such as maximum and minimum points, simple. The top row of user keys creates a zoom window around the active cursor with a specified width of 200 milliseconds, 100 milliseconds, or 10 milliseconds. I place the active or red cursor at the point of interest, and then select the user key to zoom in on that location. The unzoom user key closes the zoom window. And this process can be repeated as many times as needed. User keys were also created to find the maximum and minimum of each channel. When I click the user key, that trace is made active, and the active cursor goes to the point of interest. The final user key auto-scales all traces on the page. Perception user keys allow a user to customize perception to simplify actions that are performed regularly. Macros can be created to automatically perform a series of actions. If you have multiple sets of analysis to perform on the same data set, user keys makes loading different formulas or reports easy. The action list supported by user keys keeps expanding with each perception release, increasing capability. Let us know what you would like to see added. Thanks for watching. If you have questions on perception or any other HBM product, please feel free to contact technical support via phone, email, or the HBM website.